Hi guys, my name is Sarah Esparza. I currently go by Sarah the Rug Maker, but I used to go by Makeup to Music by Sarah and originally Sarah the Sassy Stoner. If you know, you know. Okay, so I have been a content creator here on TikTok for a little over 4 years. I started creating content out of depression. It was purely a coping skill, something I did for fun, something I did to distract myself. I have several mental health challenges, major depressive disorder, bipolar, to name a few. And I work from home. I also caregive for my adult, able bodied, disabled daughter, my Leah. She's 26 years old. So I don't get to leave the house much because she is chronically ill. She gets sick every single day. She has gotten sick every single day for over 5 years. And it's been one hell of a journey. Now, when I had originally started making TikToks, I did it purely for fun, purely as a way to cope. But I very early on went viral, and not just once, several times. I've been viral in the double digit millions over 20 times. My top solo video has 32.5 million views. On Facebook, my top video here on TikTok has 19 million views. I have been featured in international media 27 times. I have worked with over 60 brands. I have just been going. When I originally started out, I did not originally intend to be a beauty content creator. It's just something that the audience seemed to like about what I was doing and something that I naturally gravitated into because I enjoyed it. It distracted me from my depression and it made me feel good at the end result. And it was a great creative outlet for me making TikTok videos. Now, when I had my original TikTok account, Sarah the Sassy Stoner, I had, like I said, 364,000 followers. I was banned from the TikTok platform in August of 2021. At that time, I lost a lot of money and I didn't know what to do. I was approached by a talent agency and I was signed as a live broadcaster on Bigo Live and Pokecha. One of my responsibilities as a live broadcaster was to create and host shows, live shows. I had several shows. I had Manic Monday Makeup Forum. On Tuesday night, I had Transformation Tuesdays where I would teach people how to do makeup transformations, how to do the time stop. I would give them 2 transformations per week with the time stop so they could practice and have them duet me. It was a way that I could like rebuild my account. Wednesday, I did Wig Review Wednesdays, and this was one of my passions because I actually shaved my head bald during a mental health crisis in 2020. And I began wearing wigs at that time, and I felt like there was a gap, and a lot of people could benefit if I taught them how to look for wigs, shop for wigs, install wigs, remove wigs, customize wigs. So that was really my main niche starting out. And then Thursday night, I did Thursday Night Throwdown Battle of the Brushes with Sarah the Sassy Stoner. Now, I had originally conceptualized Battle of the Brushes Maine to be a makeup competition that ran tournament style for a season. Originally, I was competing in all the competitions, but I very quickly learned that that was not feasible to be a host and a contestant. So I decided to stick to hosting, and I started recruiting several beauty content creators to participate in my show. Some of the first people to participate in the Battle of the Brushes were the Beauty Killers. At that time, after losing my original account, TikTok account, I did join the Beauty Killers because their founder, Vanessa, I find to be superb, extremely talented. I loved her personality, and she was actually like the third person I followed on TikTok ever. So I was like fangirling, even though I was a much larger creator than her. I was fangirling because I have mad respect for her talent. And so I joined the Beauty Killers. While I was a beauty killer, the personal experience that I had as a beauty killer was not a good one. The Beauty Killers were not welcoming whatsoever. The only people that really talked to me were Vanessa, Felicia Moya, and Stony. The rest of them really cold shouldered me, and I just assumed it was because I was the only Caucasian one at the time. The Beauty Killers really did me a solid, helping me out in being some of the first contestants on the battle, especially when it was on Bigo Live because nobody wanted to go over to that platform. Once I moved it over to TikTok, things started ramping up really, really fast, and the battle got basically out of control. Like I said, I work from home full time. I am a caregiver to my chronically ill, disabled daughter, and I am a content creator and taking on, um, not just conceptualizing, but documenting, getting everything on the business back end taken care of for the battle, hosting the battle, preparing documents, preparing orientations, preparing sales pitches for brands. It was just so overwhelming. So I'm going to back up. I'm going to speak about season one championship of Battle of the Brushes. Season one championship of Battle of the Brushes. Honestly, I can't even remember everyone who was in it. I believe it was Felicia Moya, Solo, Vanessa, of All Things Beauty by Vanessa, and Chastity Nicole MUA. Now, during the championship battle, the it came down to guest judges voting for the winner. Now, I had one vote, and I had voted for Chastity. I felt like she had slayed the challenge at hand, and so I felt that she had personally, in my opinion, I felt that she had won the challenge. So I gave her my vote. She didn't end up winning. The season one champion of Battle of the Brushes main was Vanessa. So my vote was kind of a moot point anyway. But I'm bringing this up because a lot of people have been asking me why I say I don't want to associate with the Beauty Killers or All Things Beauty by Vanessa or Snarlsbox. So I'm gonna address some things. Okay. So season one championship. After the championship, the Beauty Killers called a meeting. Now I don't know exactly who called the meeting. I don't know if it was Vanessa. I don't know if it was Solo, but I do know there was a meeting. It was on Snapchat, group call, video call, and there were several people there. I don't know if everybody was there, and I cannot tell you everything that was said. So the gist of the conversation that I received details of was from Felicia, Moya, Stony, and Alyssa, my ex-girlfriend. Now, the gist of the conversation, as I understood it, was that they were pissed off that I did not cast my vote for Vanessa. At the end of the day, beauty is subjective, talent is subjective, and I cast the vote for who I felt did the better job at the task at hand. That's not what bothers me. What bothers me is amidst this call, Solo called out Alyssa, my ex girlfriend, in front of everybody during the call and asked her about our breakup and asked her if she had any dirt on me. Now, Alyssa is a solid stand up person. There was nothing to say anyway, but she didn't really say anything. And she did report to me what had occurred. So ever since then, Solo out in my book. Like, I don't want to be your friend. You're not the type of person I want to associate with. Looking for dirt on me because I voted for Chastity over Vanessa. Like, that's ridiculous. That's petty. That's high school. That's just, it's fucking outlandish. Okay. There's no other way to say it. So ever since then, the Beauty Killers and me, I made my way. I separated myself from the Beauty Killers. Somewhere around January, February, I did have a conversation with Vanessa. I did address this with Vanessa via text when she asked me to be part of her PR team. I addressed the fact that I had problems with Evil and Solo head on. I told her that I knew about the conversation, I knew about the meeting, and personally, in my opinion, as the brand owner, as the leader of the group, Vanessa too was out of fucking pocket for letting that conversation and letting that meeting go on. My personal opinion, we are all raised differently. We all have different values, different morals, different ethics. So from my perspective, it was trash as a brand owner, but you guys can make up your own mind. Anyway, I addressed it with Vanessa and we agreed to let bygones be bygones, and we worked together after that. She gave me her contact for her lash company that she worked with because she knew that I was launching a brand, and she has sponsored the Battle of the Brushes several times. Now, in regards to sponsorship, I do So season 2 March Madness was sponsored by All Things Beauty by Vanessa, but I actually paid for that sponsorship. I paid Vanessa directly via Cash App. I paid her $200 for 20 contestants, so I paid her $5 per contestant. She sent them a pair of lashes and some glitter. I'm assuming she did, yeah, put in some shipping costs, but for the most part, I actually paid for that sponsorship. I'd also like to note that season 1, the only brand that sponsored during season 1 was D&D, or Dazzle on a Dime, and they are a Facebook indie brand. No other brands did. Every other gift that was given, every other penny that was given to the finalists and the grand prize gift basket, that was all paid for by me. The website, all paid for by me. Like everything, all paid for by me. All the work, done by me. Nobody helped me. The only person that helped me was season 1, Felicia Moya, for a short period of time before we personally had a falling out. And then towards the end of season 2 was Mermaid Goddess. Mermaid Goddess, from that point on, kind of was my right hand man when it came to Battle of the Brushes. She basically knew it just as well as I did. So she was my main source of support, if you will. Now, later on during the season 2 championship, I further did have some more issues with the Beauty Killers, specifically Felicia and Stony, and then there were 2 others that had dropped out. The issues that we had, they were pissed off because the way that we had pinned them up against each other in the playoffs. That was something that the Battle of the Brushes main committee decided on together. We felt like it would be the most fair to pin everybody in each community up against each other during the playoffs, so the championship round we could have someone from each community, a Snarlsbox, a Beauty Killer, a Drake Cosmetics, people from everywhere, MLC, whatever. So the Beauty Killers were mad that they had to face their their peers in the playoffs. So 2 of them dropped out. One of them quit the committee, and one was fired from the committee. Now, I also want to speak to the fact that season 1 Beauty Killers were also purchasing their wins. They were not winning their wins organically. Season 1, the winners during regular season battles were chosen solely based off of audience gifts, and they were swapping weekly to purchase the win. And that's why we changed the rules for the championship and for season 2 going forward to break it down into 3 categories: contestant vote, audience vote, and audience gifting. And that's why we went that route, was because the Beauty Killers were purchasing their wins. Season 1, the championship was very off-sided. It was full of Beauty Killers and one non-Beauty Killer, and that was Chastity. And she's now a Beauty Killer. Good luck to her there. Now, the moment that most of you guys have been waiting for, I'm going to talk about Snarlsbox. Now, I was not part of this big Lux beef fiasco, but the reason I do not want to associate with Marie or Snarlsbox anymore is just because she's not the kind of person that I want in my life. I don't care for her character. I don't feel like she was ever a friend to me. I feel like she was clout chasing and using me. And yeah, so I was not part of the whole Luxby thing, but as the owner of Battle of the Brushes, I did have a telephone conversation with Marie the day after her glitter vault had dropped. She did tell me about some of the things that had happened in her life with Lux B, and she did tell me that she had blocked several of them and that she had asked several of the people on her PR team to block Lux B and the Lux B girls as well. And she also asked me, as the Battle of the Brushes owner and host, to not work with Lux B. Now, I told her that's not something I could do. I needed to stay neutral for the sake of the battle and for the community. And so I left it as is. The real reason why I have a problem with Marie, she knows. She's going to act like she doesn't know. But the real reason why I have a problem with Marie is because of Brandy. Some of you guys know who I'm talking about. Some of you guys don't. I don't even know her username. But she was on the Battle of the Brushes main committee as the diversity leader or diversity champion. Her role was to bring diversity into every facet of the competition, because there were some murmurs on the street that the battle was just for palm colored people, which was not the case. The battle was absolutely free the whole season one. And season two, we only started charging halfway through. Anyone could compete. The whole premise of the competition was to make people feel valued, to make people feel seen, to recognize everyone in the beauty community, not just those that meet standards by society. Disabled people, fat people, short people, tall people, black people, white people, it doesn't matter. We wanted everyone to come and everyone to be welcome. So Brandy had approached me during a live, and said that she felt like only white people or white passing people were welcome in the competition. So I was put on the spot by Brandy during the live, and I, right, honestly didn't know what to do. So I, on the spot, hired Brandy as a diversity champion, as a volunteer. Mind you, everybody that was on the Battle of the Brushes main committee was volunteers. No one for Battle of the Brushes, myself included, was paid. The whole competition, season one, two, and three combined, I spent over $10,000 on. Not because I felt like it was an investment or something that I would eventually get rich on, but because it was something that I enjoyed doing, and it was something that I enjoyed, helping enrich the community and make people feel better, and teach people how to do PR, teach people how to network, to work with brands, help promote indie brands, to help the audience find indie brands and new Emmy ways to follow. Now, the whole situation with Brandy is weird, and I'm going to say everything that I say in regards to Brandy is completely hearsay and speculative by me. But let me just say, once Brandy joined the Battle of the Brushes main committee, there was basically an uproar amongst the whole committee. She had problems with every single person. I was constantly on the daily, sometimes multiple times throughout the day, being approached about Brandy and her overstepping boundaries, crossing lines. Just she was making a lot of waves, and so I was constantly having to speak to Brandy. During one of the conversations with Brandy, she basically came out and accused me of being a racist. Brandy accused, Brandy presented or said there were a lot of emails and messages to her, from the Black beauty community on TikTok. And she said that the emails and messages to her were complaints, and that she was constantly being harassed and being called the N-word, called out her name. And she felt like it was my fault because, I had set up the battle and I had made it to where Black people were not recognized, which was absolute bullshit. So I had asked Brandy to present me with the messages that she had given. It took her quite some time, and when she did provide me with the messages, there was some suspicious indicators that made it seem like Brandy was the one generating the messages and sending them to herself. At that point, I decided to let Brandy go from the committee. I told her there was just too much drama. I told her that I felt the messages were sent to herself by herself, and I told her why. At that time, Brandy went on a full brigade trying to take down the battle, trying to take down me. And honestly, I think that she initially approached me during that live, because she had some ulterior motives in the beginning to take me down. That's a whole nother story. But needless to say, I try to keep myself very separated from Brandy because she seemed like very capable of destroying anything in her way. The problem that I have with Marie is because I trusted Marie as a friend. Marie and I had several late night conversations on the phone that lasted hours. And I cried to Marie about Brandy going into my daughter's life, calling me a racist and embarrassing my daughter and hurting my daughter's feelings. And instead of showing me allegiance like she chooses to ask all you to do for her, as a friend, what she did was she saw that Brandy had some talents and some things that she could benefit from, and she invited Brandy to her platform. She let Brandy join her on her live multiple times. She talked about the incidents with me on her live. She even chose to forgive Brandy for me. Now that's weird. First of all, Brandy never apologized to me. Second of all, last I checked, you don't get to accept an apology for me. You don't get to say what is okay and what is not okay for me. You don't get to say okay when bygones are bygones. This is my life. This is my choice. I was the one that was violated. And not only was I violated by Brandy, but I was violated by my so called friend, Marie. When I launched my own cosmetic brand, Beauty Enabled, in I think October of 2023, Marie basically cold shouldered me. At that point, she did not want to work with me. She would not respond to any of my texts. I would text her repeatedly, like, hey, are you sponsoring? Hey, can you help me find a season 3 guest judge? Hey, this, hey, that. She didn't respond about nothing. Nothing. She just stopped responding to me. At that point, she removed me from her PR chat, which I had expected because I had my own brand. But she didn't say anything to me. And while I was in the PR chat before she removed me, I did note that she removed me right after 2 people said they were making videos for my brand. I also have had a handful of brands that are close to Marie who had originally agreed to sponsor Battle back out last minute. Coincidentally, the timing was very close to that when Marie started cold shouldering me, when I started to get my own brand. I'm not sure if she influenced some of these brands. One of them was Lizette's Beauty World. There were a few others, but I know Lizette is Marie's right-hand man. But I don't know if it's a coincidence or not. I don't really care. The battle's not around anymore. It just felt to me like Marie was doing some less than savory things. Some things that I wouldn't call a friend some things that a so-called friend wouldn't do. Now, and I had also originally, when I first met Marie, had a negative experience with Snarlsbox as a customer. Mostly it was Donna. This was when they were partners. Marie stepped in, she fixed the problem, and we moved on at that point. But I am just bringing this up because I want to notate or reference the fact that you guys think that Marie is over here just, saved by an angel or touched by an angel or something, and she's not. She literally badmouthed Donna the whole time. She badmouthed Anna, her friend, the whole time. She badmouthed Drake Cosmetics. She badmouthed Arise Cosmetics. She badmouthed a lot of people. She is a big gossip monger, like a lot of us are. There's no harm, no foul. But let's stop acting like Marie is a fucking saint. She's not a saint, y'all, and she's not a friend. She plays a role, and she does what's in her best interest. I also know of at least 3 people who have won sponsored prizes that the Snarlsbox community paid for others to win that never got sent to them. Marie basically is pocketing the money for some of the prizes and not giving the winners their prizes. So make that make sense. It's not like if somebody's contributing $150 for a box for a prize and then someone wins that said prize and you have received that money and they don't receive their prize, seems a little unethical to me. But that did not happen to me personally. I'll just say that I know of at least 3 people who brought that up to me, and hopefully they will speak up. Oh, and one more thing that I wanted to mention about Marie and the Snarlsbox community. When I first made my first order with Snarlsbox, I was in one of the lives and I had noticed somebody in there. This person actually is a former paid assistant of mine, and they stole an iPad and a printer and several pieces of my content. I'm not going to say this person's name. I don't want to get into it with them. I just want to let sleeping dogs lie. But the point I'm trying to make here is I told Marie, hey, you got a scammer amongst you. You got someone on the inside of your group that is really a risk to your bunnies. And Marie basically told me, tough titty, said the kitty. And then Marie ended up getting scammed by said person too. So for me, I'm not a friend to Marie. I don't want to be a friend to Marie. I don't want to make things better. I'm not a friend to Vanessa or the Beauty Killers or any of them. I don't want to be friends with them. These people have shown me who they are. They have shown me their character. They have shown me their values or lack thereof. And They're not people that I choose to align myself with. Now, unlike some of these other people, kumbayaing and, taking the high road, I'm not going to. I don't fucking have to. I'm sick and fucking tired of the beauty community, or should I say it, the ugly community, out here sacrificing morals, characters, values, and ethics for some free fucking shitty makeup off of Alibaba and for some internet fame. By the way, where is that internet fame? Now, unlike the rest or most of the videos that I have seen, I'm not kumbayaing. I'm not taking the high road. I'm not praying for people. I'm not wishing them the best. Quite honestly, I don't give a shit. Fall on your face, succeed. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me because the moment I walked away was the moment that I found peace. I am back on TikTok and I will be creating content. I'll be creating any kind of content that I want. I am no longer a beauty creator. I am no longer a beauty brand owner. I am no longer a makeup competition host. I am no longer any of those things. I do not have to keep these dirty little secrets anymore. I am going to do what's best for me and what's best for my family. And that is not associating with those people. Now, if you guys choose to do that, that's your choice. But I'm going to ask you kindly to get off my page. You know the old saying, if you lay down with dogs, you get fleas. And I'm not interested in buying a flea collar.